thing where you wash your clothes and there's like a tissue in your pocket, and now there's just like a horrible crumpled tissue all throughout my laundry. Made everything all weird and fuzzy. I'm not sure if you can relate.
No, I don't leave tissue. So.
I use a lot of tissues. I'm always sniffling. Probably have some kind of undiagnosed allergies.
You know, I did a sniffle the other day, and my dad's like, "Still have allergies?" I'm like, "What?"
You did a sniffle? You never hear that.
I moved on from my allergies, actually. I decided to move.
You left them in your childhood.
Resolutions to give them up.
It's a good one.
This is the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
It's Mary again. I have a really good topic today.
Oh, no.
I was hoping... Wait, unless you had something in mind. Did you want to talk about something?
No, go ahead.
Well, first, current events-wise, we should discuss the memorial service for Rosalind Carter. I think that's how you say her name. Rosalind. And I didn't know her, obviously. I'm sure she was lovely. But the memorial is going to be like 2 miles away from my house. And I'm very nervous that there's going to be either some traffic or like a bombing, you know, because there's so many important people all in this tiny little church down the street. Ow! Can you still hear me?
It is great to think about what's happening with in that situation. Yes, Mary.
The weirdest thing just happened. A side note. Can your headphones transmit? Can you still hear me? Yes. There was some static electricity on my laundry that I'm folding, and it connected to my headphones, and it shocked my ears. Is that weird? Should I be concerned?
That probably makes sense. Travel.
Now I'm like a little bit nervous to keep doing that. I got electrocuted.
Let's just see if it happens again.
I'm gonna stop with the laundry. Cause also I have water in my ears, cause I also took a shower, so I feel like I'm playing with fire over here.
Also, your other hand is in a toaster.
Yeah, I really should have thought that one through. Anyway, I'm nervous about the bombing / traffic, but hopefully there's neither. But it's pretty cool that it's gonna be so close.
So you are going, that's what you're saying.
It's invite only, and surprisingly, I did not make the guest list. Disappointingly.
We're important enough.
I know. I feel like I'm really important to the community and to the Carter family, but they didn't agree. So
they didn't recognize me since then. Okay. Well.
Whatever. Their loss is my gain. I mean, sort of. In a way. Alright. I'm taking my headphones off because I'm worried I'm going to get electrocuted. Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you. Why don't you ask the audience if they can still hear you?
What?
Ask the listeners if they can still hear you.
Listeners, can you hear me? Reply if yes. Like this message. I don't think they can hear. They certainly can't see me. I can't even see me. But anyway, I did have a topic I wanted to discuss.
Okay, go.
Okay, first of all, how are things going? How's the new
Yeah.
job?
Okay. No. You can't keep doing this. You keep saying I have a topic, and then you say first of all. This is like the second or third thing you talked about.
This is part of my topic of discussion though.
Preamble. Okay. It's just you keep saying we're getting to this thing, and then you say first of all. You said first of all like
It's the lead up. What can
a
I
lot
say?
of this. A lot of them. I don't remember the question. My job's fine. It's been going pretty well now.
Yeah.
I started teleworking because the first month I was in person every day.
Oh.
But the teleworking, it was just like the first month so I could get to know the facility and the people and stuff.
Yeah.
But
How often do you
now
have
I'm
to
told
telework? Or how often do you have to go in? Or what's the
I
schedule?
go in a week.
Okay. Nice. Well, that's
Um,
fun. Man.
it's definitely convenient to not have to drive down there.
Yeah, I believe that. How far is it from your house?
It's not that far. It's like 10 miles, and so that is either 18 minutes on a Friday morning, or it's
Mm-hmm. Okay.
5 minutes going home on a Wednesday. But
Okay.
even then, huge. I mean, but the 7 minutes, you do feel it. I mean, that's
You
50%.
feel that. That's right.
I mean, but like
That's
you feel it just
brutal.
because you're sitting there, because it's like basically you're in bumper to bumper traffic the whole way.
Right.
And there's no good way to do it. Like my maps will tell me like 70% of the time they tell me to go the same way.
Mm-hmm.
But the other 30% they're like, take these weird side roads, and even then they're still crowded. But it's like
Mm-hmm. I
I'm in like
understand.
a urban suburban metropolitan area, so it's a little tough. I don't even know
Yeah.
what it would be considered. It's a city. I don't know.
It's a city, probably, I would say.
It's a city, but I don't know if it's a suburban city or an urban city, or probably a combination.
Probably, yeah. Probably one of those, isn't there a word for it? Like, like not suburban, but also not like a walkable city. Would it be just like
Like,
a non-walkable city?
I mean, there's a train. The train that goes to DC, for our
Sure.
listeners, if you want to know exactly where I live, the train that goes to DC goes all the way out. The last stop out from DC is like 3 miles from my apartment. But that includes, but work is toward DC, so it's like 3 stops closer.
Okay. I
So,
got you.
so I'm living is just on the outskirts of where the metro, whatever the train is called, where the train goes.
The metro. Isn't that
I
what
don't
they
know
call it?
exactly.
No?
I haven't ridden it yet because I have a car and
Lame.
and it's 3 miles. I have to drive. So if I want to take the train to work, I think I talked about this on the podcast, maybe not with you.
Okay.
If I want to take the train,
Very
I have to drive 3 miles, park, and then take the train like 15 to 20 minutes. Like it would be about the same time, a little longer, and I'd have to drive like a third of the way.
Yeah,
And
that's not great.
I think my work compensates me for the train. I don't think they said they don't pay for parking.
Oh, yeah.
So the other option is to take the bus, but it's like you have to take 2 or 3 buses, and it's like 8 stops, and you're switching. It's like that's not
Right.
worth it either.
Right.
So that's what I'm getting at. And the drive is not too bad. It's free parking at work, and again, it's like 18 to 25 minutes depending on traffic.
That's not bad.
That's where I'm at. But go ahead, Mary. First of all, let's start with.
Well, I feel like I need some advice. Because I have this job offer and I don't know if I want to take it. You know?
You're doing this live on air.
Is this not a good time?
You're doing it. This is up to you. I mean, it's your offer.
My offer. Well, I don't know. I want to get some background info. So I feel like I'm always coming on the show and asking for help with my career because I'm always, trying to figure it out. Something I've been thinking about is how little we know about the working world when we're released into it. and it's just, it's such a big part of our lives, even if not, from a values standpoint, from a time standpoint. And it just, I don't know, it's very discouraging that it can be so difficult to find something that doesn't make you sad. But maybe any work would make me sad. I don't know. Don't know how much of it is just me being, I guess, Gen Z. I don't feel like Gen Z. I feel more like millennial, but that's what they say Gen Z is. Anyway, so I have this job offer, which would basically, it's for a government, but it's state government. And I would have to take a pay cut. But I would definitely never work more than 40 hours a week. And I would possibly be able to work in something so that I have a feeling it would be I wouldn't be working as much because I'm going to stay in school, which they said that's fine. They're not going to pay for it or anything, but it possibly means that I could just not have to make up my hours, not even like officially, but unofficially, you know what I mean? Like when I go to class. And then also I'll double my vacation time. So, what do you think I should do? It's not a huge pay cut, but it's there.
Well, thank you, Mary, for sharing.
You're welcome. Tell me what I should do. I wish we could take calls. I wish this was a radio show.
Listeners, you could call in. If you have advice for Mary, call in. Your phone number or...
let's not put my phone number out there, but I don't know, they can find me. If they really need it.
You can actually, the listeners, and we say this all the time, but they never do. You can leave a message on the Spotify page. There's a way to leave a voice.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, well, everyone's telling them, so. So you can leave a voice message if you have some great advice from Mary right now.
Thank you.
Again, I'm not. So I can.
When does this air? Because I need an answer in 2 weeks. Tell them to step on it. Yeah,
step on it. So the listens come within a few days of it going up. So.
Okay.
So you should be fine. Anyway, so as you discussed in the preamble, you've been seeking new meaning in life for a while now. Right?
Yes.
And from what I gather, this new opportunity is in a slightly different field than what you're doing right now.
Definitely different.
Because to the layperson, it sounds like generally the same thing.
Okay, that's true. To me, it sounds drastically different. But yes, to the non-engineer, I can see how that would be confusing. How many non-engineers do you think you have that listen to this podcast?
There's a good amount, actually.
Really?
We do have an international audience. It's a very audience, I'll say.
I hope it never gets famous no, I shouldn't say that. That's a little bit rude to you. But I should be a little bit worried if you ever do go super viral because I've spilled a lot of tea on this podcast. Thankfully, we've kept my identity at least 80% anonymous.
I think you've said your last name.
Well, the really deep fans will know, maybe. Everybody else will be tougher. Okay, so go on. Yes, new meaning in life.
Yeah, you're looking for new meaning in life, and this is, I guess, the opportunity. What is the downside here?
The pay cut, really.
Just
the pay cut.
So something else. So part of asking me, I assume, is because I've also made a life change recently, and I had to make a similar situation, or I have a similar decision. But part of what I think you got to look at, and this is very easy to tell in the government. It's harder to tell in private industry because they keep their cards close to us. But you can see the progression
Yes.
in the future. Right?
I
And
know,
is
but
that
it's not as good with state as it is with federal. Like ideally I would get a federal job, which I applied to like 12, and they're all still under review, except for one, which I was immediately disqualified for not having adequate experience. But the other one said it got referred to the next step. So I don't know what that means.
just means you're past like the initial screening? It doesn't necessarily, it just means you weren't like the one that you mentioned where you were
I wasn't immediately disqualified. That's good. I don't know when.
It means,
I mean,
I'm guessing, so don't take this to heart. I'm guessing. So this is not, but I'm guessing that it means you meet the minimum qualifications, and now send your resume. So whoever
that's what
manager
they said.
is.
They said they'll just send it to the hiring manager.
Yeah, it means you passed the first test, but you do meet the minimum qualifications for
That's
whatever.
Good. Do you think it means that a real person will look at my thing?
Oh yeah,
that seems to be the hardest part for me.
To begin with.
Well, I don't know. There's so many jobs. Maybe in government they actually have to look at them sometimes, but in private, so many times no one will ever see your application because they get just so many applications that they can't review them all. They'll put them through like the automatic systems and pull out like whatever, half, and then almost like at random pick like half of that, and then they'll review like a quarter of what was submitted.
Again, I don't know exactly.
According to the webinars I've watched on
we're all guessing here, but we're probably right.
Resume work. We are mostly guessing, but
which is funny because if you talk to them, they'll say, "Oh, we definitely look at every single one."
Of course, but this lady who I've been watching her webinars, she used to be a recruiter at like a big tech company, and she's spilling out the truth. So she's been helping me.
Especially the tech, those larger companies.
That's true. Like I think a company of my size would definitely look at all of them.
Yeah. Place you work at where there's like 3 people that work there.
It's true. Sadly true.
But yeah, I don't know.
Well, the other thing is I did get a promotion very recently. It doesn't go into effect until January, but it means I will be taking more of a pay cut than I would be at this present moment. Like, probably would be, right now it would be like a $3,000 pay cut, and if I post-promotion, it'll be like a $7,000 pay cut. But I don't make a ton of money, so it's not.
Yes, the scale is different. Like, cause as I said, that's not.
Yeah. No. You gotta look at I should have given it in a percentage.
Yeah.
Well, now I've said too much. I don't want everyone doing math on my salary, but let's just say it.
It doesn't affect you on a day-to-day basis, that amount of money is all you're saying.
No, it doesn't affect me on a day-to-day basis, but it would, I'm 2.5 years into my working career now. It just would feel not the most amazing to jump backwards to square one, which is what they would be making me do.
Carries into 7 figures category. So.
Yeah. If you take 7 and divide it by a lot, then yeah.
Look, if you're going to make a career change like this, which again, to the layperson doesn't seem that big, but to someone deep in the know as you are, it is a bit of a change. You're going to have to expect some sort of step back.
You really, but I don't feel like I should. Like, I feel like there's a way because I'm pretty flexible about what I'm looking for. I feel like there is something out there where my experience could like count for something, you know?
Do you think, for your application, let's get back to the federal jobs.
Sure.
First, before I get to my question, it's going to take time. I don't know if you want to
That's
I
what
don't know if you want to, but for
wait.
instance, for my job, I applied for this job that I have, like probably about this time last year,
Oh my
and I
gosh.
didn't get it until May.
Ooh.
So
Wow.
it's just like, you don't understand the scale of the time. But getting to my question, which I already forgot.
You already
Um,
forgot it.
oh yeah, for your applications, did you
Right.
apply to jobs where you think they'll be higher in pay than where you are now?
Yes.
Is that what you're kind of getting at?
Or equivalent.
Because you and I have talked about this before we went on air, like I guess
Yes.
a couple weeks ago. Talked
I
about
can't remember. Were we off there? I don't remember.
I just mean through our hundreds of texts. People,
Hundreds of texts.
and,
True.
and to be fair, the federal pay scale is very complicated.
It is, which I have like researched about it a little bit, and basically, I think excluding my promotion, because I don't even know what the raise is for the promotion. If it's technically possible, there isn't one, because times are tough at my company, and we've been losing money since January. I think these promotions were basically sorry we had to do those layoffs and that you haven't gotten any bonuses this year. Please don't leave. I don't know if clearly it didn't work very well, but maybe it worked on some people. Comparing like the entry level for most of these federal jobs, like the GS11, you know what I'm talking about. For the listeners, the whole federal pay scale is very complicated, but it's all like public records, so you can just look it up for your region or your like local vicinity and see what like everything has every job posting has a direct salary associated with it that everyone can research. And basically to start from square one in the entry level salary for most of the positions I applied to, all of the positions I applied to, technically I would be making like $1,000 more than I currently am, which like that's saying basically most of those are like entry level positions, like stuff like has 1 year of experience doing this, but that's like what they say for literally every entry level position. In the private industry too.
Which is a whole other problem in and of itself, right?
Right. Yeah. So most of those I would be making even more than I'm making now. And right now it's unpredictable, which has pros and cons, like when times are good, we get bonuses, raises, whatever, that don't come along with a government job. However, when times are less, good, you don't worry about, oh, I didn't get all those bonuses, or I haven't gotten a raise in 2 years or whatever, because it's all laid out, which I like that, very good with stability and structure. I think I would prefer to know exactly what's coming, even if it's like, I would take knowing what's coming over the possibility of getting something better, but also maybe not getting it. Like, to me, knowing makes a big difference, if that makes sense. So that's why I would rather go federal. Also, it seems more of a proper operation than this particular state government position that I'm looking at.
And these are all, the good thing is I assume they're all where you currently are. You don't have to move for any of
Yes,
this.
I will not be moving. That is a non-negotiable. There were a couple of applications that I started, and then it turned out that they were either 100% remote or like not where I was currently, and I'm not interested in either of those things. I don't want to be 100% remote, and I am not moving. I will not. I cannot. I will not.
Trying to build my way into 100%.
Really?
It's for personal circumstances.
Oh, okay. Like your
You got
commute? Oh, wait, I see. I see. I mean, there's many reasons one would want to be 100% remote. I don't have any of those reasons. My family's here. My
Yeah, you
partner's
don't.
here. My pets are here. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, no, I
It's
don't mind the interactions. It's more again, it's circumstances outside.
circumstance. Yeah, I understand.
Uh,
And if it was just me I was worried about, I'd be open to it. I thought about moving for a while to New York or Chicago or Boston or something, but I'm settled now. I like my life. I got good rent. I'm satisfied. So yeah,
I,
no.
Bruce holding me back. I think I think you could entertain the possibility of doing this state job for a few years
Really?
and then switching to federal when the application gets
When
back.
did it get through? 2 years later?
6 years, that's the thing. Like it took, well, I was very picky with my job prospects, but I took over a year to find a new job.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, why, I guess in your opinion, like, why it, do you think it's just gonna like really help me to have that state government job like on my back,
Uh,
you know? Get a foot in
maybe,
the
but
door. It's more similar to the things I'm looking to do than my current job is.
yeah,
However,
those would
I'm not totally sure what I want to do, so should I just stay at my current job and keep looking until I find a good fit? I don't know.
yeah, those were all things to consider. I mean, well, but like, well, the first half was what exactly what I was gonna say, so you got it there. Um, it sounded like though that you were trying to run away from your current position.
I
But if you can,
mean, it's gotten better since we last talked. To the listeners, the last time I was on, I was having some real issues at my work, just working a lot, having a difficult boss, various things, but since then there have been updates. Some people ended up saying something, and it's gotten a lot better. She's improving for sure. And I don't know. I also like my attitude has changed since I decided that I was going to leave. It's been like less stressful. Like when things go wrong, I'm like, it's okay. Like I'm not here forever. Versus before, I had it in my head. I was like, I hate changing jobs. I hate change. I just want to get a job and work there forever and never, ever, ever have to leave. And then having not the greatest experience was like, crap, I'm going to have to leave. And then it just felt bad and I was torn between wanting to leave and not. And it's just brings me back to how that's why I've also been thinking about how we're supposed to make all these decisions at such a young age when we have no idea what we're doing. And I don't know. It's just, I definitely don't have that personality that I feel like is very common in at least maybe the tech industry of just like job hopping for the best salary or whatever, or the most prestigious position. I don't know. It's not my thing. I prefer to stay somewhere. Um, I've decided though that I don't want to stay at my job forever, but it's not like I'm in a bad situation, I guess. The only drawback is that it's a very specific line of engineering. Um, but also it's not, I mean, I'm still getting management skills and, project coordination, budgeting, all that stuff. I still feel like I'm growing, which is why it feels kind of bad to go back to a entry level position when I've been working for 2.5 years in a similar field. I don't know.
did you negotiate salary for the state level job?
I don't think I can. I haven't even.
I'm going to tell you probably can.
Really?
Even for the federal job, you can probably negotiate it to an extent.
To an extent. I know my friend told me she was able to negotiate at the federal level, but they told me this wasn't in like my actual interview for the state job. It was just when I like went over to visit the office and have lunch with them. Like basically it was them asking me to apply, and they told me like, yeah, the pay doesn't start out the best, but like, it's got pros and cons because, at least everybody is making the same amount as you. Like there's no wondering, oh, is this person making more than me? It's all the same. Everybody knows what everybody makes. Like everybody at your level is going to be making that amount. And I was like, that's weird. I don't know. It made me think there wasn't a ton of wiggle room there. I could ask, I guess.
There's wiggle room in terms of how do I say this? If you have these qualifications, you get paid this much, right?
Mm-hmm.
The wiggle room is in what are those qualifications, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say, well, my years of doing whatever, or you could say, you're getting a master's degree.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's what I'm saying. So that's the wiggle room. Yes, if you have X number of years that they deem as, if you have a certain amount of qualifications that they give you a salary based on that. So that's what the, but you could say like, you're not counting this or this should count more or whatever, or like specialized skills, I guess I think the term that sometimes they use.
Yeah, that's what, so I've seen that on like federal jobs. I don't know if they even like, I don't know if the state of Georgia has it together enough to like have that. Basically, they don't have steps or like levels. They have positions, and like the position salary is one set thing. I should ask about it though. It's just weird because like I haven't actually talked to anyone from the hiring team. I have only talked to like the girl who I will be working for. Like
But she's not part of the hiring team?
she's not. She's just a engineer. Yeah, I was connected with her from some professor. And then when I applied through the normal system, and she was like, please tell me when you put in your application and I'll like pull it out. And so I applied and she pulled it out. And then like before my application had even gone through the system, they had set up an interview, and they're like, okay, yeah, so we'll discuss it and pass it up to HR, and then like who knows how long it'll take. And I was like, okay, great. Thinking this is going to take a while. It's the government. It'll give me some time to maybe hear back from some of the other things that I'm looking at. But then the day after my interview, I got an offer letter from this HR lady. And I was like, damn, she's like, let me know in a week, which would have been tomorrow, but I asked for a 2-week extension, which they said was fine.
Yeah, I don't know how the state of Georgia operates.
So I've only communicated with this one lady over email, so I feel bad like asking this over email. It feels more like a phone conversation, but.
Well, you could also bring up, and again, some of the federal agencies work like this. You can bring up your current salary and say, this is how much I'm making right now. Can you match or exceed this?
That would be
good. Supposed to do that. Like a provision. It's deep because I didn't find this out until I got here. So I'm currently right now
trying to catch up to that.
The Office of Personnel Management like guidelines of like you're actually supposed to match and then add. I don't remember. It was like 3% or something.
Oh,
so I'm waiting.
Is that not only for like other federal jobs, like other government jobs?
I work for.
Oh.
But So that's what I'm getting at is you might have to get into the weeds, and this might be public. You'll be able to look this up and figure out what their exact policies are on pay.
Mm.
Again, it might take, like, I was working through this for like an hour or so, just opening different documents,
Well, that's
going
good.
here.
Good thing I got my 2-week extension.
So it could be nothing, right?
Right.
Again, it's not, they're not gonna it is, I mean, obviously it's a place to all jobs. They're not gonna rescind the offer because you asked.
For more.
Yeah.
I've done it before. I asked for more at my first job and it was fine. I wish I had like done it better.
Did you miss?
What?
They said no because you're a woman. Is that what?
No. They should have. They probably were thinking that. No. They probably needed some women to make their numbers look better. But the women all leave by their second year anyway, so
It's like it's Dazed and Confused.
yeah, a bit.
Or listeners, don't look that up.
No.
Go ahead.
No, I mean that's pretty much my dilemma. So I think I do need to probably negotiate. It's just a little bit stressful. And then I'm gonna be kicking myself if I like take this job and then like get a federal job next summer, because I would have just rathered stay at my job until next summer. To go like fewer job changes is more ideal for me because I just don't like change.
Probably stay then.
You think I should stay?
Well, you should see if they can blow you away in a salary, right? Would that be enough? Well,
That
would
would be
that be
enough.
enough?
That would be enough, I think.
If they came back to you and they said, actually, we can give you $10,000 more a year.
What? I would be
Okay,
like, hell yeah.
that's fair.
I don't think they're gonna do that though.
And they said we give you $4,000 more.
I would be like, okay, now this is like really, probably I would do it.
Maybe I mean, I guess you have to find where that line is, because I guess right now it's, and our listeners, again, send in where the line should be.
Send in where the line should be. I don't know how far I can take this without straight up just, why don't I just give you guys my statements, my banking statements? Will that help? Okay. Follow the chat link. Check the link in our bio afterwards for Mary's bank statements.
So there are the other benefits, right? I mean, you have the more vacation time, like you mentioned, cap on hours. Yeah, I never work more than 40 hours.
It sounds so chill. It also just sounds way less stressful. Like,
it's definitely, yeah, it would definitely be less stressful, but
I don't do well with stress. But then some people that I talk to are like, Mary, aren't you just gonna be stressed no matter what? And I don't know if that's true.
No, you get stressed about a lot of things.
I do get stressed about a lot of things, but I don't think that is fair to say that I should never try to limit stress because I'm always going to be stressed. It does help when I do fewer things.
Know how to manage it fairly well.
Yeah, fairly.
It's been over 2 decades. I mean, figure it out by now.
It could definitely be worse. But anywho. All right. I probably have to go do my homework. But the big decision though, because I think the last time we talked, I was not even sure if I was going to finish my degree. I was thinking about dropping out of school because I thought it was a waste of resources. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to finish school. So.
Yeah, and there are benefits to doing that.
Yeah, especially if you go work in the government. Like at my job, I'm not sure there is necessarily. Like, I know people in the same position as me who maybe make like $3,000 or $4,000 more, which is not a ton. for having a master's degree. And it's just like, well, that doesn't, I mean, they're paying for mine. They didn't pay for the people who got it before working there, obviously, but, it's just the part of the private thing is, you know, they can decide whether they give you a raise for being licensed or not. They can decide whether you get a raise or you get a pay increase for having a master's degree. Then it could be based on something as simple as like, how much do we like you? You know, I like that it's nice and fair in the government, which, you know, I guess it could be corrupt too. I don't know.
In a union job, you know? You should unionize your workers at your current job.
There's no unions in the South. It sucks.
Coca-Cola doesn't, they have to have something. Maybe not.
I don't even know. Are there unions for like, you know, consulting type jobs? I feel like there shouldn't be.
The federal has a union. All federal workers, technically.
Are you in it?
It's a weird union. It's sort of like, this is a whole other podcast conversation, because it's like an optional union, but you still get the benefits.
I guess that sounds nice.
Well, I guess so. Like, you don't have to pay dues, but like the union still, anything the union fights for, you still get. But my assumption is if like you have a grievance or something, then you probably would be better off paying dues, because they probably wouldn't fight if you like wanted to.
That makes sense. If you were a moocher. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
well, this was really good combo. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to hearing from the listeners. Just, you know, write me, text me, but you don't have my phone number. You can find me though if you need me. This was good. I do have to pop off to go do my homework, but I think I'm going to try to negotiate, like you said, because it can't hurt, right? You know? Worst case scenario, I don't take it. Or they say no. They spit in my face over email. It could happen. This lady I've never spoken to or met could spit in my face.